Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Pizza Day! I have 2 pizzas left in the freezer in the fridge. Well, there's only one now. I took one out to thaw. All I got is one of those cheap superstore pizzas. I don't have any extra ingredients, no extra cheese, nothing. I am so out of food. I don't think I have ever been so out of edible stuff in the house. I've got rice left. I've got dry beans left. I think I've got some popcorn. But I'm out of milk. I'm out of potatoes. Oh, there's a few carrots. Pardon me. And then there's some frozen veggies. And I made some veggie soup last night in the pressure cooker. Anyway, I have spent, I guess, probably half an hour this morning altogether running around looking for the lens covers that came with this camera, and also the ones that I had bought. And one of the viewers even told me which episode it was that I did the unboxing. Yeah, and I can't find them. Now, I know that about a month ago, maybe more, I did a big cleanup in here, and I had a whole bunch of Amazon boxes, and what I did was I cut them up and put them in the recycle bin, and I do remember seeing this box that had all the little boxes that these components came in, and it was sitting. I know exactly where it was, and I did know that in that box I did have little boxes that had the lens covers, but I can't find that box now, and I am thinking that there's the possibility that I threw it out. I just can't find it. I looked at it when it wasn't where I thought I should be able to find it. I looked in all the other places where I would have put that sort of thing. Nope. Well, the good news is I wasn't using them anyway. So why was I not using my lens covers? I got 2 comments on that. Why am I not using the lens covers? Because 2 reasons. First of all, from what I remember, the plastic ones were hard to keep clean. They were the ones that came with this. They were the cheaper ones. Then I bought the more expensive glass ones, and the glass ones were kind of bulbous. They just made the camera, and I didn't use them. Plus, there was the thought that when you use them, you slightly lose sharpness and so on. And I wanted to have this as good as it could possibly be. Anyway, so that's it for the lens covers. Yeah, I know about lens covers. Thanks for the comments. Okay. What are we going to do here? Oh, yesterday afternoon, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it finally stopped with this steady drizzling off and on that was going on for over 24 hours. It stopped. And my patio started to dry up. And by 6 o'clock, my patio, where the bike box is, it was completely dry. And it's wet again now, so it started to rain. But I actually got out for about half an hour. Yeah. And when I came home, I filled my tank up with gas. I'm ready to go. So the weatherman is predicting better weather today. I think I'm going to get out again. But I was really surprised. I didn't think I was going to get out at all yesterday. But hey, we had that lull in the rain, just long enough to dry things up enough that I could get out. I had to watch where I was driving. There were big puddles here and there on the road, and wet leaves here and there on the road. It's anyway. Let's get going. What are we going to do here today? Well, today we're going to try and solder up this antenna. Yeah, I guess I could get my soldering stuff up here, and we'll get at that. I'll use the macro lens, and we'll get in nice and close, and we'll try and get some good shots of that micro soldering, or whatever you call it. You know, there are people that can solder a way finer than that, like a jeweler who is trying to solder a little part on a ring or something like that. There is an art to it. I'm not that good of an artist. Let's recompose here. Get ourselves going. I don't have any other news. 15.4 Celsius. Yeah, it's not bad. But you know, for the weatherman's predicting warm weather for the rest of the week, starting tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. That'd be nice. Have a nice September. Yeah, let's get at it. Okay, I have an idea here, and this is the first time I'm setting everything up. Sort of like a dry run. I have this triangular shaped flat piece. As near as I can tell, it is now mounted on the correct, you might call it a rib or cross section, where it has to be soldered. And I have crimped the 5 back pieces enough that there seems to be pressure holding it down. However, I'm thinking that possibly it might be a good idea to also use the holder downer, as long as it doesn't get in the way and act as a heat sink. So that's my concern about that. Just let me get myself a little bit more back and organized here. Now this is where I'm placing the holder downer. Maybe I should have it the other way. Have it come in this way. Is pretty much where I'm going to want to make sure it's not going to break anything, because maybe that 100-gram weight that I've got is a little bit too heavy. It could be that I don't need any weight. Yeah, I'm just going to push stop here for a minute and make some changes. Okay, looking in my screen now, this is much clearer. And you can see that I've got the flat part resting on the, I don't know what you call it, rib or whatever. And that's what I want to try and solder this to. And I'm thinking that if I can put a little bit of solder just right there, just have it just sitting there. Okay, and then if I come in with my iron and I touch the top like that, the heat will transfer down. But I can see now when I'm doing this, what's happening is it's almost as though the flat part is not as tight against that cross piece as I want it to be. So if I could come in here somehow and just put a little bit of weight on it, that might help. I can still get the soldering iron in and touch this part right here. Okay, now I'm wondering if maybe this whole thing, instead of laying flat like this, it was sort of angled at a 45-degree angle, so that the little bead of solder, it just sort of sits there. Otherwise, it might have a tendency to want to see what I want to do is I want to take my solder here and nip off just a little piece and just lay it in here like that. I'm thinking as I go here, so if it sounds like I don't know what I'm doing, it's probably because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, here's another thought. Instead of using a 100-gram weight on my holder downer, I've got a 20-gram weight, and it's not pressing quite as hard And I'm using a toothpick here, or cocktail stick, to hold it down. And that way I have a lot more room to bring my soldering iron in. And you notice the soldering iron is still a little bit contaminated from the last time I used it. But that's okay. What I'm thinking now is that maybe what I should do is put some flux down in the bottom, right down here where I want it to actually weld. And then let the solder flow down off of the tip. I think that might do better. It wouldn't matter if the solder tinned this entire thing, this flat piece of metal. I don't think, as long as it didn't fill up the hole. And if it did fill up the hole, then well, I could always drill it back out again. I'm going to try that. Then I could just come in maybe from the side a little bit like this, and just touch the molten solder onto the flat part, and hopefully it would flow down, and not fill in this grate area. I don't think that this masking tape is going to affect it adversely. It might. Maybe I should be putting it on top of a piece of silicone matting or something. No, I'm not getting it where I want it. Shove this back just a little bit, maybe hold against myself. I'm hearing activity next door. It could be Missy the dog is going out for her constitutional. Oops. Now my hope is that, let me put this where it's not going to make a mess. Put this back on. Oh, hard to get my finger out from under there without moving something. Okay, now hopefully this is going to work. I sure hope I don't make a mess of it and accidentally close up that grating, because that's the kind of detail that is appreciated. We will be seeing this thing. It's going to be sitting up at the very top. Okay, let me get my soldering iron ready here. Okay, I'm just sampling a little bit of solder onto the tip, and here's hoping it's going to flow down like it's supposed to. It's not. I'm going to have to turn this like, oh, that's not working too good. Well, that's not what I had in mind. It is soldered, but that's not what I had in mind. I might have to, I got a problem in that the cord is too short. Why is this not working now? Well, it is definitely soldered. It's not going to it's not going to move. It's just that I have now filled in the bottom there. Yeah, you can see that I've kind of filled in the bottom. How does it look from the top? See if I can swing this around here so we can take a look at it. well, it is what it is. Okay, now each one of these individual pieces that are loose like this have to be bent down and attached somewhere onto here. Like I think that probably this one that I'm touching right now goes to the corner. Now I don't know. I don't have the graphic in front of me. In all likelihood, I have superimposed it so that you can see it. Let's hold this down here. See, this has to fold down, but it's not actually folding it. Unfortunately, it's springing. Okay, I've got to somehow hold it here so that this stays straight, and then bend it down here, and have it bend it like here and here. That's for this one I'm talking about now. You know, this is ending up being a little harder than I thought it was going to be. I think we will get it. It's just going to take a couple of weeks? No, it won't be that bad. Well, it looks like the street is drying up. 10 to 11 and still no Missy the dog. She's slept in again. Okay, I think what I'm going to have to do here is do this off camera. Otherwise it's going to take years. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do is a lot of this sort of thing. Holding it up close like this, which is going to make it impossible to show you at the same time. I was thinking of trying to maybe suck a little bit of that solder out of the, you know, where it filled in the grate there in a couple of squares. I do have a little suction bulb that I hardly ever use, but it kind of works. And I don't have any of that solder wick, but okay, now how can I get through here to grab hold of this? I want to be very careful I don't bend anything. I'm trying to hold this, okay, so that I can take another pair of tweezers and just bend right at the folding line. Yeah, that's kind of working. But once again, I'm holding everything so that the camera can see it. Yeah, I'm going to just have to go ahead and try and get these. It might take me the rest of the day. I might not even get it done today. But yeah, it might be a short episode, right? And I do want to be able to get out as long as it keeps drying up, and I think it's going to. We're up to 17.5 now. Yeah, wouldn't mind going over to Timmy's. One of the viewers mentioned that he had noticed that on the floor in Tim Hortons there was a Lucky Looney embedded. I knew it was a loony, but I didn't know it was called a Lucky Looney. And I'd seen that little plaque, and I had thought that maybe that was the first dollar that they made at that store. You know, sometimes you'll see that in stores. There'll be a dollar bill and a little plaque or something, and it'll be the first dollar we ever made. That's what I thought that was, but apparently there's some other connotation to it. So I thought maybe I'd go and try and snap a picture of that and include it in the next ride if I go out to Timmy's. That's that's probably going to be about it for today's episode. Oh no, it's pizza day. Well, it's too early for pizza. Well, no, I'm just going to work at this for a while and see what I can do on it. I'm not saying I'm not going to video any of it. Maybe when it comes to trying to attach some of the pieces when they come down onto the square part, maybe I'll be able to video that, but I think I'm about macro lensed out here for today. Okay, yeah, we'll see you when we see you.
Hey, Ron.
Hello.
Well, I was watching TV and Missy came and stood up and put her front paws on my knee and said, "We have not seen Uncle Ron today. So, get with it."
Yeah.
I was watching live with Rosemary Barton on CBC from 9 to 11. So I just took her outside for a quick whiz this morning. And Rainey's at church, so.
What's
Missy.
Rosemary? What was she talking about?
Oh, it's a political program.
Oh, okay. Thank you for coming again.
You're the best, Uncle Ron.
Thank you, Missy.
You got the best stuff. So it's gonna dry out and you're gonna go for a ride?
I hope so. I noticed the patio's dry again. I got out last night, you know.
Did you really?
Yeah, when it started drying up around 4 o'clock.
And it still managed to rain during the night, I think.
And it started last night around 9 o'clock, I think.
Did you check and see when it's supposed to clear?
Tonight.
Oh, not until tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the cloud is okay as long as the roads are dry, eh?
I could be wrong, but I think I'm seeing little patches of blue sky.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, maybe
The
it'll,
temperature isn't bad, but it's 100% humidity right now.
Oh my.
Oh my.
See ya, Missy. Get in out of the humidity.
Thanks, Uncle Ron.
Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. Yeah, Missy slept in. And it's drying up out there. I'm seeing very little water on the street. Yeah, bonus. Now, I did work at this for about half an hour or so. And I got one side done where I get the parts bent down and attached. So that means that what I got to do now is get the other side to match up with it, because one side is a mirror image of the other. And where I'm having a problem is when I did that flat part, I didn't bend part of the main frame correctly, so I'm going to have to do a little trimming. But after all is going to be said and done, I don't think we're going to notice the difference. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the other side, and then we'll move in with the macro lens, and I'll show you my little problem. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be an easy fix. So, yeah. So we'll just go at it here. I was busy working on this thing. I forgot to keep track of the time. Okay, let's recompose here and have a little look at this thing, and I'll show you my problem. I just finished it more or less, except for trim, and that's what we've got to talk about. Yeah, actually, this doesn't taste that bad. Okay, when we get in nice and close like this, you can see my problem. Just let me stop this. All right, now you can see where the part that I soldered down, it comes out over the edge of this square piece of the antenna itself. And what's happened is that when I bent this down, I should have had this back part more up, more convex, I guess you'd call it, depending on how you look at it. So I soldered them where they were, and at first I was thinking, now what do I do? But I realized that I should be able to, if I'm very careful, take my Tamiya nipper. Now these nippers will not be damaged by cutting this soft photo etch and the solder. It's not going to hurt them. Just let me check the monitor and make sure you're able to see this. It's about as good as it's going to get, I guess. Now I want to be careful that I don't pull up when I'm nipping, because I might break it right off the edge there. I have to resolder it back down. But the idea is that I should be able to nip that off like that. Okay. Now, this other one isn't too bad. I might be best off doing this sort of thing off camera. I don't want to cut the corner off. I'll take one of Eric's sanding sticks afterwards and very carefully once again, I don't want to cut the corner off because I don't want to look square anymore. I'm having trouble grabbing hold of it here. Okay, that's that one. Okay. No, I don't think I broke any of them loose. So I'll probably take a 400 grit sanding stick and just sort of very, very carefully. You know, Jason Port on his model kit show, must be a few months ago, he was demonstrating a powered sander, like an oscillating sander, and that would work just perfect for this. But I could do without it. Chris's file might also. Chris's file might catch and break it off. Where's Chris's file? Okay, now don't press down too hard. No, I'm better off using a sanding stick, I think. The file is just a little bit too coarse for that. So why am I still doing it? I'm stubborn, I guess. Okay. Anyway, this one did I get this one over here on the edge? It almost looks like I missed it. Maybe I just didn't nip close enough. I'm trying to get shaky. I don't know if I'm better or worse. Well, I couldn't make it worse unless I broke it off. Okay, you get the idea. I'm gonna have to work at this off camera. But you know what? I think I'm also gonna call it quits here for today. Yeah, because I want to get out. The streets are still dry, and yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.